Yeah, I know. The problem with that is I'm always used as like the example of like, oh, this decision was worse than when David Arquette got the belt. I'm always like I'm the example of, I'm the joke in a sense. So yeah, I mean that sort of, I get it. You know what I mean? I like to think of myself as I'm really the only like fan that became a champion. I totally understand that other wrestlers are fans, but then they're professional wrestlers too. I'm literally like man on the street became the champion. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna prove myself in the wrestling world, but I'm gonna have to do something at some point just to bring some respect to my name.
I mean, it's funny. It's 18 years later, and we're talking about, the fact that WCW championship has been evolved into another title altogether. But still, yeah, they kind of look back at it in jest, and you kind of say, oh, well, David Arquette won the world title. But one thing that you look at from the wrestling side is it was not only a huge headline grabber for WCW at the time. It was a huge tie-in to Ready to Rumble. And obviously, the powers that be are the ones that make the decision, not you. And one thing that's always been bandied about out there is the fact that when you were brought to this idea, you did not want to win the title. So if you can you tell us that backstory and how that all went down and how you were told you were going to be winning the world title that night on Thunder?
It's all kind of blurred in me, to be honest with you. I kind of was going along with it. I didn't have a lot of people telling me exactly what to do. I didn't really know. I didn't know I was like, one of my first matches that I was doing, I'm blanking now. I was doing shoot, I can't. It's hard to talk about this stuff because you don't want to reveal too much. But they told me to do Scotty Too Hottie's move or something. I didn't know.
Oh, the worm.
Too Hottie's move. I didn't know I was supposed to wait for the crowd to say stuff. Like people just kind of threw me out there. They're like, "What can you do?" And I was like, "I can do anything." I was a black belt in Yoshikai karate at the time. I was like, I could actually kind of fight. So, but they had a big kind of insurance policy against me, so they couldn't let me get hurt. And nobody wanted me to beat them up, so everyone had to beat me up, which is often the harder role in wrestling. But I don't know. I enjoyed the experience. For me, it was like I get to fly around with Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. I get to like talk to them about Andre the Giant and all these like legends. And that pretty much is why I wanted to do it. I wanted to sort of, I'm from an acting family that goes back to vaudeville. So to me, it's really kind of similar to the wrestling world as far as generational and almost like a carny lifestyle where you're on the road. And I don't know. I love the opportunity to be a part of that. I didn't need to be the champion or anything, but, I did shoot like one time when I went off script is when I said I shouldn't be the champ. Booker T should be the champ, and I listed a few other people that should be the champ, Canyon and real wrestlers, not me. You know what I mean? So a lot of that part was kind of from my voice, and I didn't feel bad about it. I didn't want to, I knew these people that dedicated their lives, and their families were wrestlers, and they've worked their ways up to be sitting there like this guy comes in from Hollywood. I totally get it, but I never really, I don't know. I didn't think about it as much. I didn't think how huge a deal it would be. I didn't think how disrespectful it was. I didn't know. I didn't even know what to do. Half the time I was, just kind of lost in what I was doing because I didn't really have too much guidance. DDP was incredible and really helpful, and Canyon was incredible, and Shane Helms was incredible, and Jeff Jarrett was incredible just in like guiding me through it. But the way they set things up is like that. We'll do two things, bump it, and bounce off the flip, and double, and I'm sitting there. I don't know what you guys are saying, much less what the heck am I supposed to be doing. They don't even rehearse things. they might go over it like, walk through things, but they don't practice. Like, I mean, I needed training. Like, I needed to really sort of have a good shot at it. It was just kind of like all a lot. And the other thing is doing the promos. Like, nobody tells you like how these promos are. They'll give you 2 pages of dialogue, and they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna film, like 2 minutes, and you're like, whoa, and then nobody tells you. You kind of just have to get the gist of it and go through it. But they just didn't really. It wasn't too clear about everything I was supposed to be doing. I could have used some training, some guidance, some practice, like practicing doing promos and all that stuff. And there's a lot of pressure when it's live and you're like sitting there and, people are spitting on you, like actual spit on your face, and you're supposed to like not want to choke them. There's a lot going on there. So, it was interesting. It was a fun experience. I won't say that it wasn't, but, for a kid that I grew up in Hollywood. We weren't rich when I was growing up. We were little tough kids. We were running around. We getting scraps all the time. So being punked a lot wasn't easy for me. And I was kind of like getting a little pissed off. One night I was almost like, I should just try to just fight, like almost like a jail mentality. Like I should go fight Tank Abbott because I had to fight him one night. And I was like, I should just fight him and then at least I get some street cred. You know what I mean?